Hello, everybody, and welcome to the January 28th episode of NXT. This is the go-home episode before NXT Vengeance Day, in which I'm going to go through the card real quick. So we're going to start the show with Julia versus Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship. Then we will have Gallus versus Fraxium for the NXT Tag Team Championship. Then we will have a Women's North American Championship match between Stephanie Vaquer versus Fallon Henley. Then we will go to a NXT North American Championship match for the men between Charlie Dempsey and Tony D'Angelo. And then we will end the show with Obafemi versus Ethan Page versus Trick Williams, a triple threat match for the NXT Championship. But we are starting this show out with Trick Williams opening the show. Whoop that trick. Crowd's going crazy. He cuts a promo saying that he knows both Oba, Femi, and Ethan Page want his title, but he's not backing down. And at Vengeance Day, he will still be your NXT champion. And this is a good way to start the show. I think a 70, very happy with that. Gains heat for the storyline, improvises well. He's got a hot catchphrase. He's flavor of the month. All the good things that our guy can have. As we do a quick, play a quick video where we show Brooks Jensen asking Vicky Guerrero before the show if he can have a match tonight. And she says that a returning star would be perfect for a match tonight. So now we head out to the ring to see Brooks Jensen's mystery opponent. And out comes Javon Evans. Yeah, I know. I have not used him yet. I've just been waiting for a time to start his storyline. And I think this is a good episode to do it. And yeah, Javon with a 61, Brooks Jensen with a 44. Javon beats Brooks in 9 minutes with a pinfall. And yeah, a 52 for that match. Pretty happy with that. And yeah, Javon Evans comes back to NXT. He gets his win. He's celebrating in the corner when suddenly Eddie Thorpe rushes into the ring and attacks Javon Evans from behind. He hits Javon with a suplex and then grabs the mic saying, Javon gets all the hype, all the fanfare, or I'm the one that bleeds for this. If Javon wants to be the future, he'll have to go through me. And yeah, he's making a statement, attacking Javon. 39. Not great. He's not good at improvising, clearly. That's fine. Happy enough with that. And yeah, next up, we got another setup match for the Gallus and Fraxium match at Vengeance Day. Obviously, Gallus beat Fraxium last week, and we had Axiom versus Mark Coffey earlier in the month. So I just decided to have a match between Wolfgang and Nathan Frazier tonight. And that's back and forth with Wolfgang using his power and Frazier using his speed. Frazier hit some springboard moonsault for a 2 count. And that leaves Wolfgang looking injured on the mat. And the ref concern goes to check out on Wolfgang. So he's laying there. He's saying he's injured. While that's going on, Frazier sets up for the Phoenix Splash. As Nathan Frazier climbs the turnbuckle, Mark Coffey hops up onto the ring apron. And obviously the ref doesn't see this at first because, he's tending on Wolfgang on the mat. He's not paying attention. And it looks like Wolfgang's recovering, but Frazier unable to get the Phoenix Splash off as he has to worry about Mark Coffey. So he kicks Mark Coffey off the ring apron. And he launches for the Phoenix Splash, but Wolfgang moves out of the way. He did recover in time. The distraction was enough. Nathan Frazier crashes hard onto the mat. He struggles to get up, and Wolfgang hits his finisher, covers for the pin for 1, 2, 3. Wolfgang winning in 11.5 minutes by pinfall. This was my storytelling match, and this actually got a 55. I'm very happy with that. A 45 for Wolfgang, 54 for Nathan Frazier. I think this tag match might be our second highest rated match of the night. I'm thinking the men's match will probably get number 1, and then maybe Roxanne Julia will get third highest. That's my predictions. We'll see. But yeah, another great match. Two great matches to start the show today. And yeah, Wolfgang kind of cheating to beat Nathan Frazier here. As we now play footage from before the show in the NXT parking lot, where Jada Parker attacked Yoshiki Inamura, who debuted last week. Obviously, Jada Parker said that they were going to teach Yoshiki and Miko Satomura a lesson. And yeah, Jada Parker officially turns heel. She's considered a face. And yeah, the turn is a complete success. Everyone loves it, which is great. The segment only gets to 35, obviously, and Inamura has no pop here, but we had to turn Jada Parker heel. So I threw this in here. And, this also sets up our next match between Satomura and Jada Parker, where, Miko Satomura is able to get some temporary satisfaction by beating Jada Parker in 13 minutes with a Death Valley bomb. This match gets a 53 Jada Parker's offer game, a 61 for Satomura, and a 31 for Jada Parker. And they have great chemistry. I love that. We're definitely going to run this match back. A 53, very happy with. And yeah, the story is definitely not over here. We got OTM and then obviously Inamura and Satomura and maybe potentially someone else will be joining the storyline. As we go backstage to Vicky Guerrero's office, where Stephanie Vaquer has just walked in. She's asking, Senora, I want a match for the NXT Women's North American Championship tonight. Before Vicky can respond, in comes Fallon Henley. She storms into the GM office. She tells Vicky Guerrero that Vaquer can't just skip the line and that there are more deserving women that have actually done things in NXT that should get that shot first. And this causes, a big argument between these two. They're bickering back and forth, just arguing. And excuse me, Vicky Guerrero, I can't. I'm not saying it as annoying as she does. She's annoyed at both of the women, so she says, Stephanie, I'm annoyed at you, so you're gonna have to wait until Vengeance Day this weekend, and you'll get your match for that North American Women's Championship. And Fallon, I'm also annoyed at you. You're right. There are some deserving women from NXT that deserve a title shot first. So tonight, you'll face a debuting member of the former NXT UK roster in a title match. And if you're able to retain tonight, then you'll face Vaquer this weekend. So Vicky Guerrero giving Fallon Henley her orders. She got to defend tonight, and then she'll defend this weekend. So it'll be a busy week for Fallon Henley. And we'll have to wait to see who she faces tonight. Someone from NXT UK, one of the women there, that has not been in NXT yet. Or at least this year. We go back to the ring. We got a match between the family and No Quarter Catch Crew. Stacks is frustrated at Charlie Dempsey's lack of respect last week, shoving Tony out of the way. He wants to take his frustration out on some of Charlie Dempsey's friends here. And we have him pinning Tavion Heights in a 12-minute match. Not great, a 33 match. I made it too long, clearly. Stacks was off his game for a 33. 38 for both the New Quarter Catch Crew guys, which I'm happy with. But yeah, just a quick another setup match for Tony and Dempsey. I didn't really have anything planned for them, so I just made this match. And clearly we have to build them up some more. But I think these guys got some potential with their 38. I'm happy with that. And yeah, we go backstage to Ethan Page, who's talking to Obafemi. He's trying to cut a deal with Oba backstage. He suggests that they team up tonight to take Trick out before their match this weekend. And Oba doesn't respond. He just stares at Ethan and then walks away. But we're planting the seeds for something. Maybe they take out Trick and beat him down before their match this weekend. That gets a 56. They both do well off script, clearly. I'm happy with that. And yeah, next we go back to the ring for a contract signing between Roxanne Perez and Julia. And yeah, Julia's made it this far after Roxanne, manipulated her into waiting another month, forced her into some matches. And Roxanne tells Julia that this isn't Stardom, this is NXT, where the Prodigy runs the show. And Julia responds, saying that Roxanne's trying to make her give up her title chase, but she won't break. You've built this reign on fear and mind games, but at Vengeance Day, all that ends. And then Julia signs the contract, throws it over to Roxanne, who's signing it slowly. She fires back. She tells Julia that at Vengeance Day, she's not just going to beat her, she's going to humiliate her in front of all of her new fans, the fans that are just excited about a new shiny toy. And they'll get bored with her quick after she loses at Vengeance Day. And, Roxanne gets up, tries to cheap shot Julia again. She flips the table and goes for a forearm. But Julia sees that coming again. She dodges it and hits a spinning back fist, which lays Roxanne out. She stumbles and rolls out of the ring. She's clearly rattled. None of her cheap shots are hitting. Julia picks up the NXT Women's title and, looks at it for a bit before laying it back on the table. And yeah, that sets up this match will be at Vengeance Day. It was obviously in real life. It was the first episode in January, but I wanted to make it on the PLE. Gets a 62. It also gives me time to set up the actual feud in TEW, and it's not just a random match. Get them both some momentum. Julia improvised well. Awesome. As we go to commercial break and come back to Fallon Henley in the ring. She's pacing around. She's annoyed. She doesn't know who her opponent's going to be. She wasn't expecting to fight tonight. The ring announcer is introducing the challenger, making her NXT debut, Amelia McKenzie from NXT UK. And Amelia dominates early with some crisp strikes, some suplexes. She's trying to make a statement. And Fallon Henley is not trying to make a statement. She's trying to survive. So she's cheating the whole match, faking some injuries, distracting the ref, using JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. And then halfway through the match, Stephanie Vaquer's music hits, and she comes out to the ring to watch the rest of the match. Fallon Henley's distracted, looking at Stephanie Vaquer as she walks down the ramp, which allows Amelia to hit a big running knee for 1, 2, no, 2.9 count. Henley's able to kick out somehow. And she's furious. She, scratches at Amelia's eyes and shoves her into the turnbuckle and quickly rolls her up. 1, 2, 3. Still your NXT Women's North American champion, Fallon Henley. Only gets a 39. The crowd just did not like it at all. But, considering she has no pop in the US, I think a 39 is not bad at all. A 35 for Fallon Henley, a 43 for McKenzie, which is awesome. And then, yeah, Britt Fire as a gimmick, very good. It's like an underdog gimmick. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch NXT UK, so I don't know if she was actually a big thing there, but I brought her over here because she's got some good potential. And yeah, we need more women on the roster. I'm going to be hiring a lot of women and getting them some opportunities. We're going to have to really build I'd like to have an equal men's and women's roster, ideally. But yeah, her first defense in game for me for this series. And 39 is not bad at all. I'm going to see if I can change the commentary because this is really hurting our ratings, I feel like. Maybe get Booker T doing something else. And yeah, we go backstage to Metaphor. The segment gets a 57. They're all improvised well, which I'm very happy with. That's good to know. And yeah, Noam Dar and Oro Mensah are hyping up the Meta Girls before the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship match tonight. Yeah, I know I should have run this match last week, but I kind of forgot about the tournament. So the main event tonight is going to be this. Obviously, Chemical X, Shotzi, and Tatum Paxley versus the Meta Girls of Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. And yeah, the Meta Girls head out to the ring for their match. And Shotzi and Jakara start the match. Shotzi gets the upper hand and tags in Tatum. They double team Jakara for a bit. Lash is able to tag herself in and use her size to get control back for the Meta Girls. She isolates who's in the ring right now? I forget. Tatum Paxley's in the ring. She's isolating Tatum Paxley as Lash and Jakara dominate for a little bit. Using their power, they're acting cocky, they're playing to the crowd, and Tatum's able to escape, make the hot tag to Shotzi. She comes in wild, and she hits a cannonball in the corner to Jakara Jackson. She hits an enziguri to Lash Legend. A suicide dive onto both outside of the ring. Once they're all back in the ring, it's a double team between Shotzi and Tatum Paxley. They're double teaming Lash, and it's a covers for the pin 1, 2, and Jakara Jackson dives in to break up the pinfall right at 2.9. Right before the 3 count. Lash Legend grabs Tatum Paxley for her sit-out powerbomb, but Tatum's able to wriggle out and counter with a spinning back kick, and then hit a suplex for another 2 count. Lash is very tired. She stumbles up, and Tatum hits a twisting neckbreaker for 1, 2, 3. Your new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Chemical X. And this was not a good match, apparently. 33 for Tatum, 40 for Shotzi. The Meta Girls did not do good. The match is 31. Jeez. What are the... Yeah, just inexperienced psychology issues. It was too long. I guess. We will not be running this match back anytime soon, I guess. We're going to have to really build up some of these girls. But Shotzi and Tatum are going to carry the tag titles pretty well, I hope. And 33-40. Yeah, happy enough. As we go to commercial again. And Trick Williams is in the ring, standing face to face with both Obafemi and Ethan Page. Trick, he's standing his ground. He starts talking, but Ethan Page blindsides him from behind. Common theme with Ethan. Always got to start the chaos. Obafemi sees this and walks over. For a second, it looks like he's going to stop Ethan Page, but then he joins in, and he's attacking Trick Williams too. It's a 2v1. They're just beating down Trick Williams. And, Trick's laying there, clearly beaten up. And Ethan picks up the NXT Championship and hits a pose, but Obafemi yanks it away from Ethan and then knocks Ethan Page out too. And we end the show with Obafemi standing tall, holding the NXT Championship as the last image before NXT Vengeance Day. And that gets us 60. Very happy with that. And yeah, that's the show. And that gets us a 47, which it's the middle of the road. Probably one of the weaker shows. I think the women's tag match, both of the title matches are actually pretty weak. This tag match was not good. We started so strong too. But yeah, and if you're ending here, thanks for watching. Otherwise, we will go to NXT Level Up. And here we are for NXT Level Up. And I just decided to give Fatal Influence a match here against a new women's tag team grapple guild, which is Tyra May Steele and Brinley Reese. We need more women's tag teams, so I threw these 2 together, and we're going to see. Not a good start to the match. It was a little too long. Brinley Reese was off her game. 36 for Tyra May, which is good. 42 for JC Jane. Grapple Guild beat Fatal Influence in 11 minutes after Tyra May Steele pins Jasmine Nix. 18 for Nix. 15 for Brinley Reese. Not great. We're going to have to see how we can build up Brinley Reese and Jasmine Nix some more. And we go, yep, Ava is on the show today. We do have a match. Vicky tells Ava that Sean got her a match tonight. This gets a 53. The crowd is back into the match. And yeah, it's going to be against Ariana Grace. And yeah, another not great match. 20 for Ava, 28 for Grace. A 9-minute match. Ava wins. And yeah, just getting these guys on the card tonight, basically. Star quality. Yeah, poor basics. I tried to tell her to keep it simple. Clearly that did not help at all. But yeah, these matches are just trying to get them in the ring and build up there. I guess this does not help at all, but hopefully Jasmine Nix and Brinley Reese, a 20 rated segment, helps build them up a little bit. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to do with NXT Level Up, to be honest. If you guys have any feedback, let me know. But yeah, in regards to the actual NXT card, let me know what you thought. Give a like if you enjoyed, comment your feedback, and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this content. Let me know what else you want to see. And I will see you guys in the next episode for ECW.